Weeks later, Dad asked why I stopped paying the mortgage. My reply shut them down completely. I can still hear the echo of her voice. "Get out! And never come back." She didn't whisper it. She screamed it, spit at the edges of her lips, her face twisted in rage. My own mother, looking at me like I was a stranger. That was the night everything ended. But endings, they can be rewritten. Growing up, I was the one who kept the house afloat. Dad was always drowning in debt. Mom, well, she liked appearances more than responsibility. Bills came, calls from the bank came, and I was the one patching the holes. I worked 2 jobs through college. Every paycheck went straight into the mortgage. My name wasn't on the deed, but my blood was in the foundation. They used to call me their rock, said I was the one thing keeping us steady. And I believed them. God helped me, I believed them. It started small. Mom's tone changed. Less gratitude, more commands. Dad's silences grew heavier. Then one night, I overheard them in the kitchen, whispering like teenagers hiding a sin. She'll never know. We've carried her long enough. Once she's gone, it'll finally be ours. I froze. Carried me. The money I'd been funneling wasn't ours. It was theirs. They weren't saving. They weren't planning. They were burning through my sacrifice. Vacations, dinners, little luxuries I never saw. And in that moment, the word family felt like a lie carved into my skin. The blow-up came 2 weeks later. Mom cornered me in the living room. "You're ungrateful. Always acting like we owe you something. If you don't like it here, get out. Get out and never come back." She thought I'd beg. Thought I'd fight for a place in a house I had practically built. Instead, I just stared at her, silent, cold. Then I walked upstairs, packed a single bag, and left the rest of my life behind. No tears, no goodbyes. Only one decision carved deep in my chest. They wanted me gone. Fine. But they had no idea what leaving me behind would cost them. See, my name wasn't on the deed, but my name was on the mortgage, a small detail they had conveniently forgotten. They needed me. Without my payments, that house of theirs wasn't a castle. It was a sinking ship. So I stopped cold. Every dollar I once poured into that home, I redirected into my future, into my escape. I found a small apartment, sparse, but mine. I worked in silence, paid my bills on time, built a new life from the ground up. Meanwhile, their silence began to crack. Dad rang one night. His voice trembled. "Why haven't you been paying the mortgage?" I let the silence stretch until I could hear his breathing turn shallow. Then I answered, calm, measured, "Because, Dad, Mom told me to get out and never come back. And I don't pay for places I don't live." Click. I didn't yell, didn't argue, just let the weight of those words settle into his chest. Over the next weeks, I watched from the sidelines as reality crushed them. Letters from the bank piled up. Their faces grew drawn, hollow, desperate. Mom tried calling once. Her voice dripped with forced sweetness. "We can work something out, honey. Families stick together." I laughed, a sharp, humorless sound. "No, Mom. Families don't throw each other out. Families don't use each other. You taught me that." She hung up before I could say more. It didn't take long. One foreclosure notice, then another. The house, the place I had sacrificed years for, slipped through their fingers, auctioned off, gone. And I didn't lift a finger. Not out of cruelty, but justice. They had gambled with my loyalty, bet against my silence, and lost everything. I ran into Dad weeks later outside a grocery store. He looked smaller, worn down. "Why did you do it?" he asked, his voice cracked like dry wood. I looked him dead in the eye. "You asked the wrong question. You should be asking why you thought I'd keep paying after Mom screamed at me to get out. You can't throw someone away and still expect them to carry your weight." He flinched. No comeback, no excuses, just the quiet understanding that he had built his downfall brick by brick. Now I live free. Every paycheck is mine. Every step forward mine. No chains, no manipulations, no guilt. Sometimes, late at night, I think about that house. The walls I painted, the roof I paid for, the mortgage I carried, and then I smile. Because justice doesn't always come in grand gestures. Sometimes it comes in silence, in the quiet refusal to be used again. They screamed me out of their lives, and I left. But when the bills came knocking, my silence screamed louder. Betrayal cuts deep. But revenge doesn't always need rage. Sometimes it's as simple as walking away and letting them choke on the absence of your sacrifice.